Weather today. Now, in some parts of the UK, it is hot already. 18 degrees already this morning in some parts. Not everywhere, but in some parts.
So it's expected to be the hottest day of the year so far. Temperatures up to 34 degrees in England. Andrew Plant is in Somerset, and Andrew, well, look at that. What a perfect setting. It almost looks like the open sea there, but swimmers in the water there. Explain where you are.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet this morning, guys. It is still a bit chilly here, actually, in Clevedon, but you can tell we're going to get there. You can see it's going to be a beautiful day. The sun's out. There's barely a cloud in the sky. You might be able to see where we are, actually. That's Clevedon Pier in the background there. Right on the horizon, that's actually Wales. You can just see Newport in the distance, nice on a clear day. And this is Clevedon Marine Lake. This was finished in 1901. I've just read on the sign nearby. It's supplied by salt water, so it's a saltwater swimming pool, really, but it protects the swimmers from the tides and the waves at the sea. They're a bit treacherous, but people come out here. You might have seen it on BBC News before, actually, because it's often where we come to film on the New Year's Day swim. Lots of brave souls coming down here on January the 1st to take what I'm assured is a refreshing dip. The water is very cold, but still lots of people turning up here this morning to come and take their daily exercise. So we're not there yet, still a bit cold here this morning, certainly was at 6 o'clock, but we're expecting sort of 27, 28 degrees here on the west coast, but it's really the east coast that's going to feel the highest temperatures today. Places like Cambridge, Norwich, 32, 33, even we're told 34 degrees in London. So they're really, really going to feel the heat later on today. But this week itself has been a bit of a record breaker already. Wednesday was the hottest day of 2022 so far. Thursday broke Wednesday's record, and then Friday will break Thursday's record. Today, definitely the hottest day of the year, and then things will cool down a little bit. But in terms of overall records, well, we're not going to get there because you have to go back almost 50 years to find the hottest day that June has ever recorded. That was back in 1976 in Southampton. That was 35.6 degrees, so we're not quite going to get there. But in terms of the overall highest temperature ever recorded in the UK, people might remember that because that was just back in 2019. That was in Cambridge, and that was recorded at 38.7. So we're not quite going to get there today, but 34 is not too far off. It's going to start to cool down, some thunderstorms in places on Saturday. So today is the day, and before then we have a very hot Friday ahead for most of us, at least.
Andrew, can I point out the glaringly obvious, which is you seem ever so slightly overdressed compared to the people immediately behind you.
Yeah, well, they're probably a bit hardier than me, Charlie. They're used to this water. I can tell you, I've been in there once. I'm not going to go in again unless you want to see me screaming on live TV. The water is absolutely freezing, but I think it will have warmed up enough for me to take this coat off by the time you next come and see us.
Andrew, we do want to see you screaming on live TV. Did you bring your trunks?
I'll see. I'll see if I'm brave enough.
Go on, you are, you are, you're hardy. See you in the water later.
I'll see what I can do.
Absolutely stunning, they didn't look really nice.
It's 14 minutes to 7. Let's talk to Sarah. Let's find out what's happening with the weather this morning in a moment.
We'll have a look first at this beautiful image. Now, I know there's a big variety in the weather today, as Sarah will explain in a moment. And so it may be that you're not expecting this hot weather. It's largely in the south of the country. If you're not, well, this is kind of what it's going to look like, Sarah. That was Clevedon in North Somerset. And, Sarah, it is looking very hot for some people, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. Good morning to you, Charlie and Naga. The peak of the heatwave, I think, today across southern parts of the UK. Certainly not the same everywhere, but you think it's hot here. Well, in France, yesterday, temperatures reached 40 Celsius, and that's the earliest in the year that France has ever seen a temperature of 40 Celsius. Paris is forecast to get to 40 tomorrow. We're not going to be quite as hot here, but we could see temperatures in London around 33 or 34 degrees. So certainly the peak of the heat today, not the same across the UK though. Although we've got all that hot sunshine holding on in the south, strong levels of UV out there as well, we've got a different picture further north. So for Scotland and Northern Ireland, it's cooler, it's fresher, rain is sinking south, and it's going to be quite breezy as well. But for the here and now, certainly I think the peak of the heat wave today, do be prepared for those very strong levels of UV out there today. Slap on the sun cream, certainly. We could see temperatures up at around 34 degrees for some of us. Naga and Charlie.
John, morning to you. It is a dramatic setting. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, Charlie, does it? I think we've one view of the day on breakfast this morning for sure. On top of Clevedon, 886 metres high, just under 3,000 feet, the highest mountain in South Wales. Of course, we're in the beautiful Brecon Beacons, Brecon just below us there. Look at the view out there, absolutely stunning. And what better way to enjoy a view like this today than to have a game of touch rugby? They're going to be playing for the next 24 hours. Started at 6 o'clock this morning. Started to get a little bit spicy, a little bit feisty out there, didn't it? Right, great to see you all. Thanks so much. Diolch yn fawr. Have a great day. As we say, heaven knows what. Oh, man down, man down. Shout out to this fella here in the blue there, Carl. He's the backstop. He's already stopped 4 balls going over the edge. Because have a look. Can you imagine if a ball went over the edge there? It'd be pretty serious if it ended up in the lake, wouldn't it? Back to you guys in Salford.
Thanks very much, John. That is a spectacular location for a game of rugby, as you say. Do not want the ball to go down the side of the cliff.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What a backdrop.
Several areas are expected to be well above 30 degrees Celsius today. 34 predicted in London, 33 in Cambridge, even 32 in Norwich. That's higher than Tel Aviv in Israel at 29 and even hotter than Athens at a mere 30 degrees. It's not just humans who can get too hot. This animal shelter keeps a careful eye on its dogs too. For Bargy here, that means snacks served in the swimming pool. And for cats like Casper, they even have their own air conditioning unit, meaning even animals in fur coats can keep cool today.
We stop our dog walking at peak times. Our volunteers come and walk our dogs mainly, and possibly we would look at cancelling that altogether, because you just need to make it safe, and anyone at home would need to do that kind of very early in the morning or very late in the evening.
As most places see temperatures start to soar, for those lucky enough to be off work, it's barbecues on the beach, sun cream, and maybe even a sandcastle or two as well.
Now, you might recognise where we are, even if you're not from this area, because this is often where we come to film on New Year's Day. It's basically a saltwater, massive swimming pool. It's blocked off from the sea, but it's refreshed by the tides, of course, but it keeps people safe from the waves. They're a bit treacherous here on the west coast, but it's pretty big. It will be packed here today with people using their bodyboards and coming for a swim as well out to that platform there. I can tell you on New Year's Day, I've actually been in here before. It's absolutely freezing. I'm told it's a lot warmer by the swimmers here today. That's Clevedon Pier out in the distance there, and as you can see, Wales across there. It's a lovely clear view today. So probably up to 27, 28 here on the west coast today, but it's over on the east coast, as I said before, that you're going to get the really high temperatures, places like Cambridge and Norwich and down in London as well. But we're not going to really see any major records broken today. In fact, today will be the hottest day of 2022. Wednesday was, Thursday was then hotter than Wednesday. Friday will definitely be hotter than Thursday was, so getting up to around 34 degrees. But the hottest day ever recorded in June, you have to go back almost half a century. That was 46 years ago, back in Southampton, and that was over 35 degrees, 35.6 degrees that day. But the hottest temperature ever recorded in the UK, people will probably remember, because that was only 3 years ago. That was back in 2019. That was in Cambridge, and that was over 38 degrees, about 38.5 degrees. So we're not going to get anywhere near that today, but 34, well, it's really not bad, isn't it? So if you're lucky enough to be off work today, today is the day to enjoy that. We're going to hit some thunderstorms in parts of the country come the weekend, but before then, of course, we've got a glorious Friday ahead.
Andrew, thank you very much. We'll see you later on.
Well, those high temperatures have prompted a level 3 heat health alert. It's to be issued for London, the east of England and the southeast.
Well, Skegness, or Skeg Vegas, is living up to its name today of bracing. It is bracing down here, even though it's going to be 28, 29 degrees, would you believe it, later on. So if you think Skegness, you'll think beautiful beach, won't you? You'll think exciting theme park over there. You'll think, Andrew, fish and chips, oldest chip shop in town, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll think, thank you, Andrew, you'll think jolly, 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 jolly to me. Jolly fishermen. Kind of scary.
It's about fun, isn't it? It's about fun and entertainment, and I think that's where the sort of the comparison between Skegness and Las Vegas has been drawn,
Yeah.
albeit broadly.
And it's good. It's
Yeah,
good
it
to
is
be
good.
on
Anything
the
that-
map.
Yeah,
Have
exactly.
you been singing Binley Mega Chippy?
I haven't, but my kids have, and they actually wanted me to take them to go for fish and chips. So it's maybe slightly extreme to go that far. We've got plenty of good fish and chip shops around here.
Where are the fish and chips? We've lost our fish and chips. Oh, do you know what? Nagger, Charlie, we'll bring some back for you. They're going to be cold. They're not going to look as good as this, but we'll bring some back.
You've sold it
Back to
well,
you.
Jane. Sold them well. Thanks so much, Jane. We've been offered all sorts of food this morning, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a theme today,
I
isn't
think
it?
that jolly fisherman I think he'll get there first somehow, fish and chips. He looks like he likes his fish and chips.
Jane was at them.